What's up, BookTube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today I'm talking about some books coming out in May. So I guess May is a pretty popular publishing month because I've got a lot of books coming out shortly. I have 10 books on my TBR coming out in May, so I'm not going to ramble for an intro, let's just get right into it. Starting with Not Good for Maidens by Tori Bovalino, coming out on May 3rd. I'm so excited for this one. It is a horror fantasy retelling of Christina Rossetti's Goblin Market. My favorite book of all time is the 4th book in the We Were Children series by Shauna McGuire, where we go to the Goblin Market, and I'm obsessed with the Goblin Market, so I'm so excited for this book to come out. I am getting conflicting release dates. One edition says that it's coming out May 3rd, but a different one is saying like June 4th, I think it was. I'm not actually sure when it's coming out, but I'm hoping it'll be the May one. But anyways, this book follows our main character whose aunt has been kidnapped to the Goblin Market, and she only has 3 days to get in there, get her aunt, and get out before the market takes both of them. Again, I'm obsessed with the Goblin Market. I'm so excited for this one. This is easily one of my most hyped books of the year. I can't wait to get to it. Next up, also on May 3rd, is Ikesha Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I adore Casey McQuiston. Their previous 2 books have been so much fun. This one I'm a little nervous for. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not because it's a YA romance and I really don't read those. But it's Casey McQuiston, so I'm still going to at least give it a shot. The plot seems like a pretty typical YA romance plot. I believe the main character is running for valedictorian, and I'm pretty sure her love interest is like her rival for that. But the twist here is that after these 2 characters kiss for the first time, Shara Wheeler disappears. So I guess they have to go on like some mystery adventure trying to find her. It reminds me of what's it called? That one John Green book. I can't think of the title of it, but you know the one that I mean. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one. I'll try it and see if I like it. I just really enjoy their writing style, but like the YA romance, not really my thing, so we'll see. Also on May 3rd is Queerly Beloved by Susie Demand. This one I actually have an arc for from NetGalley, so I'll be reading it very soon. This cover is so freaking cute. I adore the cover on here. It is adorable. I love this like bright yellow. It's very spring. This one is a contemporary romance in which our main character is a bridesmaid for hire, and she meets a cute engineer and the 2 end up hitting it off, and then things go from there. It sounds like a pretty typical rom-com, but like I'm always here for the queer romances, so I'm hyped for it. And this one involves baking and a found family, so it sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. Also on May 3rd is one that I'm sure we are all very excited for, and that is Book of Night by Holly Black. This is Holly Black's first adult fantasy, so I'm very excited for it. Also a little bit nervous because I usually struggle with adult fantasy. I prefer YA, but I'm hoping that because Holly Black has been writing YA for so long that it'll still kind of have that YA feel to it, but just for a more mature audience. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Honestly, I have no clue what this book is about. I saw Holly Black and just added it to my TBR without actually looking into it. But it says it's a modern dark fantasy of shadowy thieves and secret societies in the vein of Ninth House and the Night Circus. So that sounds really good. Still on May 3rd, we've got Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. This one is also a contemporary romance, and it's one of my favorite tropes, which is a baking romance. I don't know what it is about like kitchen and like baking settings and romance books, but it's just my favorite thing ever. I think they're just so sweet. And this one follows a high-strung pastry chef and the wildly attractive non-binary kitchen manager. So it's another queer romance. That's really all that I know about it. For romances, I try not to read too much into the plot because like there's usually not that much plot to them. It's mostly the romance, so I don't want to like end up spoiling it for myself. But either way, I am so excited for this one. I can't wait for it to come out. And again, beautiful, vibrant colors on the cover. I'm obsessed with it. Finally, moving on from the May 3rd releases. On May 6th is The Italian Job by Kathryn Freeman. This one is also a contemporary romance. There's a lot of those coming out right now. I guess like spring and early summer is the time for these books to come out. This one has like the cutest cover ever. It's adorable. And we have the trope of traveling. It takes place in Italy, as well as fake dating, which I love fake dating. It's so much fun. It always leads to absolute disasters, which I love. But in this one, our main character has the opportunity to go and look after a beautiful castle in Italy for an entire year, but the catch is that she can't do it alone. The person who owns the castle wants it to be a couple. So despite the fact that these 2 do not get along whatsoever, the main character asks her neighbor, who could really use a break from life. So even though these 2 would rather not spend an entire year together, it benefits both of them. So they agree to pretend to be fiancés and go to this castle in Italy for an entire year together. And of course, a romance ensues from there. This sounds like it's going to be so much fun, and like I miss traveling too, so I think this is going to scratch that itch for me since I can't travel right now. On May 7th is Circus of Shadows by Kimberlee Turley. Again, beautiful cover here in like a circus book. I love circus fantasies. They're so much fun. fun. And this one sounds hilarious. The main character was caught stealing a ride on a circus train, but instead of being arrested, she is kind of forced to be the new assistant of the like knife throwing circus person who needs a new assistant because his aim is not that good. So our main character is like actually kind of enjoying the new job, but then weird things start happening. There are like weird notes being left for her and all these like creepy things going on, and she's not sure if she's being haunted or like what's going on here. So it's a fantasy where it might be a supernatural, it might not be, but we're gonna find out. This one sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and I can't wait to get to it. On May 10th, we've got Zachary, Ying, and the Dragon Emperor by Xiran J. Zhao. This is the author of Iron Widow, which I did try to read. I had an arc for it and I just didn't like it, so I'm hoping I'll like this one more. My problem with Iron Widow was just like the writing style felt really juvenile for the content of the book. I didn't get too far into it, so like maybe it got better later on, but just for me it was not the vibe, so I'm hoping a middle grade will actually work better. This one says it's a middle grade contemporary fantasy that follows a young boy as he journeys across China to seal the underworld shut and save the mortal realm. So we've got some portal fantasy stuff here. Like I love any book that like takes us to the underworld of like some culture's mythology. It's one of my favorite tropes in fantasy, so I can't wait for this one. This one reminds me a little bit of Falling into Rarohenga by Steph Matuku, which I read in January, I think it was. It's a similar concept, but it's Maori mythology. So yeah, I love that trope. I think it's so much fun and I can't wait for this one. The cover is also beautiful as well. It's stunning, but hopefully this time I will like this author's writing style because I really want to like this book. Also on May 10th is Breathe and Count Back from 10 by Natalia Sylvester. And this one is actually a contemporary YA, which is weird for me to have it on here, but it sounds really good. This one says Veronica, a Peruvian American teen, must deal with both her painful hip dysplasia and her overprotective immigrant parents, all while chasing her dreams to become a professional mermaid. So not my usual genre, but it sounds kind of fun. I forget who it was, but I think somebody that I watch on YouTube had an arc for it and it sounded really interesting. So I added it. Not really sure if it's going to be my thing, but I'll give it a shot at some point. And finally on May 31st is Out of the Blue by Jason June. This has such a cute cover. I'm obsessed with it. And this one is a queer mermaid romance. It's about a mermaid named Crest who has to go on their month-long journey where they have to go to land and they have 1 month to help a human and then return to the sea and eventually become an elder. But if they fail to do this, then they'll be stuck on land forever. So off they go to land where they meet Sean, who has recently been dumped by his ex, and so the two of them decide to work together to make his ex jealous, and then from there real feelings start to develop between them. It sounds so cute and so sweet. Again, I love the cover and I love anything to do with mermaids, and this sounds like it's going to be a very soft, sweet kind of story, so I can't wait for it. Alright, and those are all the books that I have coming out in May. If there are any that you're looking forward to, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to add some more to my TBR. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!